I saw that. Yeah.
He's not officially. Yeah, he's not an official signee with the University of Florida. He's kind of a guy in waiting. Now, if you believe all the reports, he's in Baker County and can't seem to get it faxed. So, there are other ways to get it there. It seems suspicious, but who knows? I don't know what what kind of school this is, what kind of lifestyle he's living. I don't know, what's going on there, but there's certainly something amiss. He can't get the paperwork done, and they hope to get it later tonight or first thing in the morning. So I don't know if that's getting back to school and letting the school handle it or what, but definitely a little suspicious on that end. But Florida doesn't seem worried.
He was very impressive on television and just the way he handled himself. He's first announced, then grabbed his cap, which I thought was cool. His mom was there crying next to him, and that was a big thing.
Yeah.
The thing about, by the way, he's from Baker County, where one of the greats of all time came from. People don't remember him that's your old as me. Larry Dupree was a great player from in Baker County as well. The thing about him is that he was asked by Reese Davis, "Are you going to send that fax in?" He stopped and signed the letter of intent right there in front of him. So something is awry here.
Yeah, I don't know what. A couple of reporters were down there in Baker County, and I didn't really get an answer from them as to whether they, what the fax issue was. So who knows? But he seems confident that it's going to happen. Florida seems confident it's going to happen. Everybody who was in and around C.C. Jefferson feels confident it's going to happen. I think it's probably just a matter of time.
Yeah. All in all, a good day for the Florida Gators, who were, in football terms, probably behind 28-7 in the fourth quarter and pulled it out at the end. So it looks like Jim McElwain starting off on a good foot with a good class for 2000, as you say, 15, but really 16. So, Mark, let's talk a little golf. You were in our community here last week. We had a chance to have you on the show a couple of times, and we've gone over this a number of times because the fact that this event was so successful in such short notice, and you expressed the same amazement when you were here. Looking back on that tournament now, and I think you called it the model for what communities can do to have a successful event. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, not only do I think it's a model for what cities ought to do. I think it's a model for what the LPGA Tour and even some other sporting venues, whether it's whether it's a tennis tournament or the WNBA or whatever. I just think that there's a thirst, a hunger for sports out there, and it doesn't have to be in these huge skyscraper-filled cities that have all the population. I think that you can go to a smaller town and you're going to get a ton of support, and because you're not competing with anything else. And that's what some of the golfers all said during the week was, this is where we need to be playing. We need to be playing in venues like this where we're not competing against the PGA Tour, we're not competing against the NFL, we're not competing against a basketball game or anything else going on. We can go to these cities, we can find these cities and play in them where we are the main show. We're the main attraction. We are the center of attention, and everybody wants to be there, and it's a ticket that's going to be in high demand, and people come and appreciate what we're doing and the talent we have and this, that, and the other. And I thought it was unbelievably point on and accurate and eloquently spoken, and I agree with him. That was an unbelievable venue when you look at the number of people who are out there and supporting that thing. And I think we talked about it on the radio. It wasn't just the big names who were getting big crowds. It was every group out there from the first tee to the last, from 1 to 18 and everywhere in between. You could walk to any single hole and see a number of people following whatever group was on that tee box or in that fairway or on that green. And, again, go back over it. It's a credit to the LPGA Tour. It's a credit to the organizers. I mean, they really had some foresight and some vision here that I don't think a lot of other people saw. And they were very well received. And, I would think that if it's me, I'm trying to sign up Coach and the LPGA Tour and the city of Ocala for make this thing, instead of a 3-year deal, make it 5, 6, 7 years. I mean, it really, really looked like a place where you can get a stronghold for this event.
Talking with Mark Long at the Associated Press. Mark, Tom Schmitz here. Now, you were at the event. You said it could be used as a model for how to do events like this. Could you foresee down the road one LPGA Tour event in our area and one, like, I don't see the PGA coming here, but like a Champions Tour stop here?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Absolutely. Listen, if that retirement, somewhat golf community, somewhat horse community, Ocala's got a lot of things there that it hangs its hat on, but certainly golf, equestrian, and retirement are three biggies. Clearly, they spoke volumes by saying that they were going to support that tournament. I think probably, next year will be a better indication when it's not new. Maybe it's year two, and make sure it's not a novelty situation. But to me, it looked like it's not going to be. It really looks like it's possibility for a long time to have an LPGA Tour there. And I would think that, like I said, a model event. I would think Senior PGA Tour and the champion, what's the secondary tour now? Buy.com, Web.com. It's been 1,000 different names. I would think that those ought to look at venues like that as well.
The funny part about it is, Mark, communities like this are where U.S. Opens are held. Think about the small towns where U.S. Opens have been held. Think about the possibility of putting an LPGA major in here one day. Obviously not based on this, but all kinds of potential and possibilities. Hey, Mark, thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it very much. I guess I'll be talking to you soon as we get ready for the spring game and things happening, and maybe I'll see you on the golf trail someplace. So appreciate your time.
All right, anytime, buddy. Thank you, guys.
Mark Long, Associated Press. Always good to catch up with Mark. He's a keen observer of the scene around here, lives in Gainesville, does little Jaguars, does a lot of Gators, and whatever's going on. So speaking of the Gators, we didn't mention this earlier, but it's getting really, really scary in Gainesville with the Gator basketball team. They're now looking on the outside, looking in of a possible bid. You have to win the games against There's a whole bunch of teams clustered together in the SEC, and according to all the experts, 6 teams will go from the SEC, but Florida is the bottom of that 6, and you're losing to Vanderbilt. And granted, it's a tough place to play, but Vanderbilt had lost 7 in a row, and Florida let them get ahead.
They were up 15-0.
How can anybody get up on you?
And they never came back from that.
We're not talking about Kentucky here. If it had been Kentucky, you'd understand. Kentucky may get up 40 on them.
They lost that ball game in the first 4 minutes of the game.
The mindset of the team, they're not – I know Billy must be going crazy because he said before the game, the one thing we don't want to do is get behind. And what do? They get behind.
They have no presence in the middle. The big man – can't remember the name, Salinas or whatever for Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Just controlled. I mean, how many times have you ever seen 8 block shots in the first half? It looked like every time Florida threw the ball up, it was getting swatted backwards.
And then Finney Smith got in foul trouble. There's some good-looking young players. Frazier's scrapping for every point he can get. It's been tough. I want to thank our guests today, Mayor Kent Gwynn, Jim Ross is the star banner, Franz Beard, Ira Schofel, and Mark Long. On behalf of my broadcast partner, Tom Schmitz, I'm Buddy Martin. Have a great night, everybody.